And he sacrifices the stallion on g5, but very few players understand why this is such a powerful move. We're about to dive in on that, but let's take it from the top. World number one, Magnus Carlsen, opening with this explosive English, even though he's in Norway, playing the Norwegian chess league. His opponent copying him here with c5, g3, you could go g6, keep copying, make a quick draw. That's not true. Of course, you would lose quite quickly, but knight f6 played. Who is this with the black pieces? Well, this guy, Frode Elsnes, also from Norway. Sorry, wrong picture there. This is Frode. He's an international master, so shouldn't be a match for Magnus, but we get a fascinating game. Now this bishop tucks into bed. The centre is challenged. Magnus takes, knight taking back, pawn d4 takes, and Magnus streams into the game. This one was played, by the way, on Halloween, 31st of October. Magnus back from St. Louis. e6 is the best move here to defend the knight, but bishop e6 was played. Now it's a bit clumsy because how do you now develop? And Magnus makes it even more tricky because after these ponies enter the game, the queen slides over and pins. Frode doesn't like it. He drops back. No time to Botez gambit. Magnus spots that the queen is attacked again. What a world number one. And now he's making g6 and bishop g7 problematic because white can do this, right? So that's why bishop f5. Best move, bishop d5 was also an option. You prepare to develop, knight c3, and now, is it a mouse slip? Pawn e5, hyper aggressive, not coming to e6. I mean, not a mouse slip, they're over the board. That's a joke, of course. There's tension between the queens here. Magnus doesn't want to lose that one. He wants to attack, even though he normally loves an endgame. He plays bishop g5. And the best move is what was played in the game, pawn f6. Now, they say never play it usually because it's very weakening, but here you back off the bishop, or do you? Magnus chucks in this one. No time to take the bishop, or you lose your queen with check before your own queen is munched. Now, according to the all-powerful engine, knight d4 is strongest here, but who wants to walk into a pin? Looks very uncomfortable. So queen e7, very understandable. And now after bishop e3, best move is queen f7. You just prepare to continue your development, get castled, and although white's got these nice bishops trained on the queen side, black's got a grip in the centre. Okay, different game. But we didn't see queen f7. We saw pawn g5. Andrea starts spinning the beats because the chess is getting exciting, and it just gets better after Magnus sacrifices that stallion on g5. Pawn recaptures, bishop takes. Now hang on a minute. A horse is worth 3. The pawns are worth 1 each, so that's 2. How can this be good? Well, Magnus is taking his opponent into the deep dark woods where 2 + 2 = 5, and already Frode goes wrong. This was the top move. Stay around the king, something like this. Black actually gets castled, and this is what's so fascinating about this sacrifice to me, is when you reach a position like this, white is a clear piece down just for a couple of pawns and some initiative, and yet Magnus's judgment is spot on, that white's a bit better and has chances to set traps and play tricks. I mean, his judgment is insane. Very few players understand that this is good for white, but this was played, and it's a subpar move. Looks great to swap the queens, threaten the b pawn, but there's a move missed. Magnus, of course, finds it. It's bishop e4, and it's like, what is that move? You know, you're not just hanging the pawn on b2. Now the knight's dropping with check. Well, you've just hung mate in 3. It's queen h5 check. And because of the power of the rook and bishop, the king, whoops, missed through the arrows, the king can't actually move. So you have to block. And now you can checkmate in either way, but let's go with the most swashbuckling. This is a mate. What a cool line. So you cannot touch the pawn here. What to do? Well, takes, therefore. It's the best move. And now don't take with the queen. or you just stand worse. Piece down for a couple of pawns. You can't take with the knight. It's pinned. So in the game, we saw Magnus play pawn a3. Lovely little move, because now if you take here, the knight's hopping, and again this huge attack starts to rage against the black king. It's trapped. There's checks coming on h5, all sorts, you're getting ripped to shreds. So we saw the queen back off here. If you tried queen c4, again knight takes here. In the game, Magnus now takes with the queen. He's got an extra option. He wants to preserve this knight hopping forward to one of these squares one day. Best move here, rook g8. Not easy to find this stuff. Bishop e7 was played, and best is to actually just take, because either the king steps up and starts running into trouble, or knight takes and this pawn gets really tender soon. Not straight away, queen's on it, but you can push with b4. There can be problems down here. Okay, should have been played. Magnus misses it, and his idea here is, I'm going to stop you castling. Where's your king headed? Stuck there forever. Now the maneuver he's missed, that the all-powerful Sir Stock Squidington finds, is either queen a6 or queen c5, but same idea, headed for c4, trying to swap the queens. But not played. Knight d7. Now it's going for the castles, but there's a bit of a traffic jam now on the queen side and through the centre. We're going to see it. Magnus gets the hop like he was hoping for. The knight on b6 was doing a job. Jumping back there is best, but king b8's played. Always play it, except when you shouldn't. Now we see takes on e7, knight recaptures here, and bishop g5. So many problems, so much pressure. The rook protects, setting up some kind of aesthetic, symmetry, lovely jubbly, but queen h4, and there's so many problems with the defense of the pieces. You can't go queen c5, or you run into b4, can't stay with the knight. What to do? Knight c6, trying to give back the exchange, and Magnus doesn't even take it yet. Calmly goes e3, because you can't move the rook, or rook crashes through here. You're restricting jumps and pieces as well. I mean, this is what Magnus does so well, does his plans plus the enemy plans. This is a good moment actually to remind you, it is absolute last chance saloon on the Remote Chess Academy sale. Just the most insane discount on right now. They do it about 2-3 times a year. This one's running till 2nd of November. Get in there. This course here, the Road to 2000, is selling like wildfire. People absolutely love it. It's like 3 courses in one, plus then they bundle on like 2 extra courses. So much free bits chucked in for a very, very good price right now, like $100, under $100. Check that one out. Make the Road to 2000. Really, really exciting. Presented by GM Igor Smirnov. Such a good teacher of the game. Let's jump back here. We all want to play like Magnus. Knight f8's now on the board, and Magnus picks up his exchange. So the material count now is a rook for 2 knights, plus you've got a couple of pawns. And the big issue is that all the black forces are just not coordinated. The king's a bit exposed, the pawns are weak. Rook e7 desperately tries to hold stuff together. Now we see this rook invade. We get the double up on the file. Knight f7 spinning around, trying to attack, but Magnus moves in here. He's under so much pressure. This one can't move, or this one gets taken. Frode's under pressure, I should say. a6 gives the king a square, but b4 you can say Magnus Carlsen in a speedboat. He gains space over there on the queen side. Best is queen c4, trying to desperately cling on, but the terrible knight g6 is played. And for some reason, Frode drops the pawn and judges that this construction of the knights is better than with a knight here and a pawn here. A very forlorn knight in the corner. Magnus drops back, king a7 and h4. And this is now the next big trump in the position, a running past pawn. The knights are just dominated. e4, rook e6 goes for an exchange. Best was probably this. Try and cling on in this endgame somehow. Queen here maybe, but then your knights are still getting dominated. Pawns are running with the support of the king. Okay, not played. Knight e5 was tried, but now takes on e7, excuse me, and we saw resigns. Because after this one's recaptured, you take the pawn here, and that's another pawn dropped. 4 pawns now connected, running on the king side there. Game's completely over. Magnus gets the job done there. Very instructive sacrifice. Hope you enjoyed. Smash subscribe if you did, because I'll be back with some World Cup chess coming today, starting in India. Very exciting. And do have a look at that Remote Chess Academy course while the sale is still on. Last chance to get it. Thanks a lot for watching and see you soon. Cheers.